Continuing with Slay the Princess, I figured I would start off with the routes where you hope her, instead of killing her first, you, Oh, okay, there we go. That was concerning for a second. Now let me just adjust this real quick, because I know last time that's still not good enough. You couldn't see. Is it because of this side? All of the voice options. You moving a little bit. That's not all of the screen. Let's have a think of this. No, because it cuts off. No, lose my mind.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
That's very nice. Yeah, it cuts off part of the screen. Now, I don't remember how I fixed that last time. If I just hadn't fucked with it earlier, I think it would have been fine. No, come back.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, so I just can't have it full screen. Otherwise it... Oh, there we go. Perfect. Wonderful. There we go. Alrighty. The end of the world? What are you talking about? Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's locked up? Killing a princess seems kind of bad, though, doesn't it? Can't someone else do this? Forget it. I'm not doing this. Have you considered that maybe I'm okay with the world ending? Do I get some sort of reward for doing this? Oh, okay. Thanks for telling me what to do. Sweet. I've always wanted to offer monarch. Viva la revolution. Silently continued to cabin, turn around and leave. Alright. Consider that maybe the only reason she's doing it is because she's locked up.
While I appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that.
The fact that he's right, because it doesn't matter how you get there, you always end up at the same place. And if she leaves the cabin, it starts the whole, like, that's where the, like, Yeah.
It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
We're just gonna continue on.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
From now on, when I do restarts of the past, like in the first chapter, I'm just gonna skip all this because I don't feel like listening to the narrator talk.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Well, guess what? This time we are.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
We're not gonna take it this time, actually.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed. How many times do I have to tell you how dangerous letting her out of here would be before it finally sinks in?
I forgot. They don't voice. I forgot for a second they don't voice their lines. We're proving the princess.
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever. Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
Onward.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
Don't do it. If she gets out of those chains, we're all one step closer to the end.
I'll see what I can do.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug.
Oh, I forgot. I just remembered what happens next.
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Nope.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
If there isn't a key, do you have any other ideas? I'm gonna check upstairs. Maybe the key's still lying around somewhere up there. And if not, maybe I can at least find something to break you free. If there isn't a key, any other ideas?
Maybe there's some way to break the chains?
Yeah.
Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free. You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Hey, let me out of here. Try the door. Return to the back. Try the door.
You try the door, but it's locked from the outside.
Hey, let me out
Your
of here.
shouts and pleas are met with silence. You're here to slay the princess, and you won't leave until the task is done.
Well, I don't have a knife. How do you want me to do it? Return to the bottom of the stairs.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal.
It's the key.
It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
Yeah, I figured he'd drop the
Or
blade.
we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Like me. Save the princess.
Fine.
I gotta die.
Against your better
Oh my
judgment,
God.
you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Door's still locked. Or it's the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade.
Perspective.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Slay the princess. Warn her.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive.
Slay the princess. Resist.
The blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a cautious step forward.
We both know this isn't you.
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your infuriatingly rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again and again, and you feel every inch of burning pain that slices its way into your body.
I'm sorry.
Damn, that looks good.
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not, though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife, your legs give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess stares down at your ruined chest as tears carve rivulets of pink down her blood-spattered cheeks. It can't just end like this, right?
Well, it will.
Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
RIP. Chapter 2, The Damsel. Yeah?
You're on a
Shut the
path
fuck up.
in the woods,
Oh, I can't skip it.
and at the end of that
Forgot.
path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Oh, you bastard, you're in for it now. I'm wise to your tricks.
My tricks? What
Yeah?
on earth are you talking about? We just met for the first time.
I do be right.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Yes, he didn't approve of us last time, did he? If we're going to save our beloved, we'll have to be sneaky about
He's
it.
so fucking funny.
Our beloved? Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess.
Yes.
Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love, and the four of us will be foiling any and all assassination attempts you've got in the works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. It sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving.
Let's assume I'm telling the truth, and all this really did already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything?
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. You died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me.
I mean, yeah, technically.
You were the one who did us in, villain. Well, not you in the literal sense, but you did everything you could to stop us from rescuing her. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe it's because the entire world was at stake. No lone princess is worth that price. I beg to differ. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just going to take a deep breath and assume that whoever is making the decisions here has the common sense to ignore your protestations. Anyway, I believe your second question was, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
Consequences.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. You forced the princess to kill us, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself, or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? If it's the latter, what do you think happened after you died? Do you think the people there lived happily ever after? Or do you think that the princess, left unhindered, brought about the end to everyone and everything, just like I told you she would? She would never. She's a perfect angel that you cruelly imprisoned as part of some convoluted, dastardly scheme. Convoluted? I don't know how this premise could be any more simple. Princess bad, stop her, save everyone.
I'm with them. I'm gonna find a way to save her from the cabin. Let's talk about the princess. Proceed with them.
That's right, you can't stop all of us. We're going to sweep her off her feet if it's the last thing anyone does. Are these really the sorts of people you'd like to align yourself with? You're not at the cabin yet. You still have plenty of time to reflect on the situation. I just hope for all our sakes that you make the right call.
Proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
We already told you we're not playing along with your little game. It's your lies that can't be trusted. Her beauty is the only thing in the world we can believe in.
I think we've already been over this. I'm pretty sure he just likes the sound of his own voice.
I do, but I also speak from the heart. My passions are too great to be stifled. They must be expressed.
Sure, yeah, your passions are strong and all, but not everyone needs to hear them. Some things are better kept quiet. Don't pay their bickering any mind. Focus on the task ahead.
Proceed.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
This whole cabin.
Very different.
Is it? I can't say I was paying much attention to the scenery last time around.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous past life nonsense. You haven't died, and you certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. Stop letting yourself get distracted.
Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
Wipe the mirror.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago.
And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place, and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Into the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight. But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already.
I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
You know she can't hear you, right?
She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit.
Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
Did you hear that? She said we're dashing.
And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it? Waiting for you to come back. I didn't want to believe your ravings back in the woods, but this is next to incontrovertible evidence. You've been here before.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is the fourth time around.
That's right, villain. And you killed us.
Well, she killed us.
Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
And you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
There's no proof the world ended after we died.
We never saw a world end. And now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise.
Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
You can be last time at her a lot. Why did you do that? I know why she did that. I didn't bring a knife. Do I have to cut you out again? What happened after I died? I have to ask. Did you end up... No. I'm sorry about what happened last time. The narrator who sent me here to kill you took over my body. It was extremely unfair.
If another version of me was pushed to such drastic action, it was for good reason.
Fuck off.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
Thanks.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent. An almost unsettling extent, actually.
That's because she's perfect.
Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do?
She doesn't. There's no one else like me.
I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
I still find it interesting that the player character is the only one who refers to the narrator as the narrator. Everyone else just calls him. What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
Cool. But before we started talking near the world end. Did you end the world?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips.
Smitten's funny.
Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
No, I don't want the world to end.
Then I didn't end the world.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself.
He's so funny.
Not so sure.
I didn't bring a knife. Do I have to cut you out again?
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done.
What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains.
Okay, you know what? I can't. This music's too loud. Alright. Here we go.
Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel.
No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
Rescue the
No.
princess.
I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I'll...
You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her?
I would if you had a weapon.
Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought.
You wouldn't.
I would. I'd listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings, and doesn't the world end if we don't stop her?
You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed.
Sorry, just checking something.
I can't believe it, but I guess I have to. I told you, there's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back and everyone out there would be saved.
Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on our side?
What do we do now?
We leave! What do you want
Let
to
me
do?
guess. End the world?
Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection. And then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
I want to fucking leave. I want you to tell me what you want. There must be something you want. Do you want to end the world? I just want to leave. We can figure out the rest later. If you want to leave, then let's leave. I just want to leave.
That sounds perfect.
The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers.
We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending.
I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs, hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks.
I love the art for this.
That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love.
Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her.
For the 4th time.
Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you have ever known.
Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
Hell yeah. Do you think you can open it? I think we can open it if we try together. I think I've gotten this. Open it together.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door. Together. Blech. And... the lock clicks, and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me?
I told you our love was insurmountable.
You and the princess make your way upstairs, and...
Oh, whoops, I think I clicked through it too fast. The blade, that's right. There's still a chance for you to do the right thing. Take the blade from the table and slay before it's too late. You're not doing
You're
that.
enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer. I hate you.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin. And then you step outside.
Romantic case, your love will set you free.
Our happy ending at last.
Though I think to go to the next chapter, I actually was supposed to kill her there.
We did it. What should we do now?
Where did everything go? Where did he go?
Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
Smitten's hilarious. But you don't get the chance to make that jacket, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
It's okay. Just trust me. We've been here before and you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. Yes, I fear that we won't like what we'll see. What if we just sit here and preen for a while? That can't hurt, right?
It's not the end. Whatever's on the other side, it's going to be nice. It's the end for you, but not for me. I'll see you on the other side. It's going to be okay. It's not the end. Whatever the other side's going to be nice.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you.
Interesting. I always find it interesting the way everything like works together here is. Once you reach the ending, the narrator isn't here anymore. You get your memories, but the other voices don't.
She'll be there waiting for us. I just know it.
I mean, approach the mirror. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You've unraveled. Oh, dope. I love the contrast. Because you can even see it here in the hand, but also in this hand, compared to this one. Fucking amazing. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her. Look at all them hands. Just waving.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
Do you think other people are out there?
It doesn't matter if there are. People are too small for us. You and I are the only things that interest me.
Do you think that anything out there is real? Do you think that we're real?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Do you know what's going to happen when you awaken?
If I did, I would already be awake.
When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator, and he wants me to kill him. Kill you. Oops. Do you have a narrator? Have the vessels had one?
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
He does. I don't know why, but I know this for a fact. He does. I don't know what I'm going to do when I find him. He does, and when I find him, you and I are finally going to have answers. He does, and when I find him, I'm going to kill him. He does, but you're going to keep that to yourself. That's a weird thing to say. He does. I don't know why, but I know this for a fact.
I am on the cusp of my awakening. Perhaps you are on the cusp of yours.
Yep, I think we're over halfway now. Do you have thoughts on this vessel?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart.
That's creepy.
Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
I'm ready to go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are.
Okay.
I will be here, waiting for you.
Everything goes dark, and you die. Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Why did I think there would be 9 of them?
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Turn around and leave.
Seriously? You're just going to turn around and leave? Do you even know where you're going?
Okay, fine. You're persistent. I'll go to the cabin and I'll slay the princess. Oh. Okay, fine. I'll go to the cabin and I'll talk to the princess. Maybe I'll slay her. Maybe I won't. I guess we'll see. Lie. Yes, I definitely know where I'm going. Nope. The only thing that matters is where I'm not going. The cabin. I'm not going to the cabin. I'm actually pretty okay with the world ending. I relish the coming of a new dawn beyond our own. Again, I'll go walk in the opposite direction now. Quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. The only thing that matters is where I'm not going.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation than to take part in it. Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
Turn around again and leave again. I've seen gameplays, but the way they went about doing all the paths is really confusing for me because they would make choices and then stop halfway through a path, go back to see what the other choices led to, and then come back, and it was very hard to keep track of. But I think this is the only other option that leads to a different ending.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's remarkably selfish, if you ask me. I've already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies. Forever.
I don't care, I'm not killing a princess. Good, maybe everyone should die. That's what they get for dumping me in the woods and asking me to kill someone for them. You're not emotionally blackmailing me into doing this. Quietly continue down the path. Good, maybe everyone should die.
When I said everyone, I meant everyone. That's a pretty large group to just condemn to death over a single princess. And, last I checked, you're part of everyone too, so if you think about it, walking up to that cabin and slaying her is really in your best interests as well. But
Okay.
fine, you turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? You're at the cabin again. Now, I'm not normally one for superstition or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
There's no fighting it, is there? I have to go to the cabin, don't I? Fine. Oh yeah? Well, I guess I start walking in a different direction. Again. In fact, I'm going to just keep trekking through the wilderness until I find a way out of this place.
There's always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who's ever lived, as well as for everyone who ever will. And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the leaves. But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path and a cabin. And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be.
Wait, what's going on?
But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world. You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just wander off into the forest in search of certain death. You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
Chapter 2! The Stranger. Yeah.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
There's a wall there now.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
The walls weren't here last time. You can't just force me to go to the cabin. Yep, oh, lie. Yep, okay, heading to the cabin now where I'm definitely gonna slay that princess. If I can't run away from the cabin, then I'm just staying here in the woods forever. Stay in the woods forever.
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess.
That makes so much sense.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience. He might have walled off everything but the path to the cabin, but I'm sure there's plenty of other ways we can ruin his day.
Oh yeah!
If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's day forever, then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just got lucky. The world hasn't ended yet, and you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic little voices to the back of your mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
So either lie or stay in the woods forever. If I can't run away from the cabin, then I'm just staying here in the woods forever. Stay in the woods forever.
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
Dude. Nice! I get to lie then. Yep, okay, heading to the cabin where I'm definitely gonna slay that princess.
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you.
Sure.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
He's annoying.
If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind.
Proceed into the cabin.
The cabin interior is wrong. A
Yo!
confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space. But it's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense.
Yo, holy that's so cool! I love how you got like, there's 1, 2, 3 different windows. 4 different floors, I think. It looks like 4 different, hold on, 5 walls actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different walls. Damn. Of course, there's only one door, so you can only do one door. My favorite table because it's such a weirdly made table.
The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Nice.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust, or better yet, grab it and throw it out the window. What good is a knife against a world-ending monstrosity anyway?
So cool. I'm sorry.
No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess. How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple and straightforward premise? You can't just say that, not when everything here is so wrong. Listen to me. My job is to describe facts as facts and to guide you through your job, which is to slay the princess and through that action, save the entire world.
I love that you can see the void beneath the void.
And if you're going to slay her, you cannot let fear creep into your heart. You cannot lose yourself before you even get to her. Oh, ho, ho, ho. You've piqued my interest. What's going to happen if we lose ourselves? Nothing, because you're going to pull yourself together. Just ignore the stressful geometry and stay calm.
It's not really stressful, it's kind of fun, and I gotta stop doing that.
How? Even if we closed our eyes, you're constantly describing it to us. I'm not going to stop doing my job, so you're just going to have to get better at yours. And quickly, if you don't mind. Yes, take a deep breath. I'm all for getting under his skin, but we'll miss out on loads of fun if we shrivel up into a ball and go insane the first time we see something weird. What you're seeing here is obviously real. Just accept it and go with the flow. It really isn't hard. Okay, I'm fine. Good. Now, whenever you're ready, we're all waiting for you to complete a very important task.
Touch the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror. Or at least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime.
I keep touching the mirror because I want to see each of the voices' reactions to it, which is wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. You know that taking the mirror away from us isn't going to change things, right? We'll find it again, and then we'll see whatever it is that you don't want us to see.
I mean, yeah. Enter the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials.
This will be fun.
Nothing here seems to belong, and the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get, your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere, let alone down.
I don't know, a lot of them do seem to go down.
The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it, the kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odour that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing.
I'm too obsessed with moving the camera to see everything move.
If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
No, thank you. Oh, don't be such a baby. I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. Like whatever we do, we're gonna die. We don't even have a weapon. But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall. No way to go but forward. And whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. And what's that? That the fate of the world hinges on your success? There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
And is that not why we all play this game? Take the center. No, Harshnar's still left.
You step to the left. The path is cruel against your feet, the impact of each step sending pulsing vibrations up your legs, until there's nothing left in them to feel. The air around you grows cold the further you progress. At first a barely noticeable drop, quickly evolving into a numbing cold. Your toes feel like blocks of ice, your breaths puff out in clouds of condensed vapor. You shudder against it as you continue down the stairway, losing yourself in the bone-deep chill. You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go. Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether. Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating patterns and emotions of the journey, a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten.
Dude, the artist has so many, scenes drawn for this game. It's insane.
consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as...
Are you just going to stand there?
Ooh.
What the hell was that? What happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs. Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement. Don't forget why you're here. And why are we here again? In case you weren't listening, I'm afraid I lost myself on the way down. You're here to...
Oh, shh. I didn't mean to do that. He's just being an ass. We remember. Though I'm still not sure if we should trust you. Let's talk to her for a bit. Try and get our bearings. She seems normal. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was here. What's your name? Getting down here was weird. Like I was pulled apart and put back together again. Do you know what happened to me? For all I know, you're locked up down here for a reason. Do you know why you're down here? You're apparently a threat to the world. I was sent here to slay you. What's your name?
You can address me as Your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really. You can call me Princess, if you'd like.
Oh, it's this ending.
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. And where there was once just one of her, there is now another. We can do that? I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back? Again? Have you been here before?
Oh, yeah.
Should we tell him?
No.
Nah, let him stew. Right, I'm telling him. Yeah, we've been here before, but we never went to the cabin. We just turned around and left until... It's hard to describe. Until the only thing we could see was the same cabin going on forever. And then you told us that the world ended and we died. And then we woke up, and I'm pretty sure you're familiar with all the rest of it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it? Whatever you saw last time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them. If it's not already too late. You have a job to do here, and you need to do it now. Oh, new plan! Let's see if we can make even more of her.
Great idea. Getting down here was weird.
What, like you need me to hold your hand and tell you everything's okay? You're not really cut out for this, are you? Why are you even here? We're probably stuck down here forever, aren't we? There's no way out, and barely a way in. Sometimes I feel like I'm being pulled apart too. It's so terrifying down here. But at least now you're not alone. And I'm not alone either.
You're apparently a threat to the world.
And do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of monster?
Because I am. Everything you've heard about me is true, and I'm going to lay waste to everything, starting with you.
Okay, this was fun for a bit, but we can't even really interact with her, can we? What's the point of asking questions if all we're going to get is a million answers? Can't even follow what's going on anymore. We need to get out of here. This whole place is making me itch.
There's room for one more. If I let you out of here, what are you going to do?
I don't think what I'd do really matters, does it? I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. You either trust me, or you believe that I'm dangerous. What I say won't change how you already feel about me.
True.
Besides,
You already know what I'm going to do.
if you want to put an end to me, then put an end to me.
Not a single real answer.
It is for each of the respective timelines.
At least aside from Miss Blood and Destruction. It's infuriating, isn't it? Whose buttons are there for us to press? Whose skin is there for us to get under? Not exactly how I'd put it, but I don't disagree. There must be something we can do. Asking questions just seems to make things worse. This is reaching its breaking point. If you don't act now, there will be nothing in here but her. Take a deep breath and focus up. You can do this. But how do we decide what to do? Can there even be a right choice when all of them are so different? Stop overthinking it. Your drifting thoughts have clearly been part of the reason this situation has gotten out of hand. If you're trying to do the right thing, there's only ever been the one option, and that option is slaying her. Just do something. Do anything. Do all of it, if that's what you want. This place is hell, and it's only getting worse.
I'm getting you out of here.
Wait, that's not right.
Why not?
Go on. You take a step forward. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident stride. You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly many directions. You find the blade suddenly in your hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to languish alone. Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess. But this... We can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now. No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if everything is happening at the same time? It's the same as nothing happening, and nothing is excruciating. Luckily for all of us, nothing and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all falls apart. I think he's gone.
Yay.
We were never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and the others just don't fit. They just don't fit. We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable. Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
We should help her. I think we did this.
Yup.
How surprisingly sincere. I didn't actually think our actions had consequences.
No?
It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Please.
It's going to be okay. I'll do my best. I don't think you're supposed to be fixed. No. You just destroyed everything. I'm not going to fix you. Say nothing. I'll do my best. Oh. Or not. But you'll never... When everything is possible, nothing is. But you'll never know if she hears your reply. She's gone. Memory returns.
She's gone? Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
I guess I should have left her then.
And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Approach the mirror. You approach the mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. Yeah, don't look at it. I don't like that thing.
You never do. The voices feel small, distant as you approach. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. You're nothing at all. But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze, and then you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond the reflection. You look like a crow monster. Are you me?
I think you know what I am.
Yo! A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. Yo, that's weird as hell! So you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'd ever get to see you. What are you? Are you something like me? If you're not me, then what are you? I have so many questions. Does it hurt when pieces of you break off like that? I'm sorry, I don't want to destroy you. Will it help if I look away or stop asking questions? Every time I ask you something, it looks like your suit breaks. Are you part of me, or are you something else? You're the one who wanted me to slay the princess. Why? I've met you many times. Have you been the same all along? I wasn't supposed to see all this, was I? What is this place? Where are we? Destroy the mirror. Okay. I didn't realize the mirror was the narrator. So you're the narrator.
The narrator, yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help, after all, an objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
6. Or more, technically. What are you? Are you something like me?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I am an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you, after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Others like you, you've said something like that before. Has every narrator really been different?
Of course. That is by both necessity and design. This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world.
Interesting.
But you'll be awake soon. And then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
Do you have anything to say for yourself, for all of this hubris? After everything you've done to us, do you think anyone deserves to live? Hubris.
I do. The people out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable, I want you to remember that.
After everything you've done to us, do you think everyone deserves to live?
Nobody alive has done anything to you. I'm all gone. But if you and the princess want to smite the rest of them for the crimes of a dead man, if you really want to be that petty, there isn't much I can do to stop you.
Every time I ask you something, it's like a piece of you breaks.
I'm aware, and if I were you, I'd be more precious about your time.
Nope. All the shards, gone. I want them all gone. So many questions. If you made me, then what am I?
You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
Oh, okay, 4 more questions. I don't want to be... So many questions! Who cares about dying? I've died plenty of times. How am I supposed to rid the world of death?
By slaying the princess. Once she's gone, everyone will get to exist exactly as they are. No more fear, no more howling chaos, just life. Forever.
Except it doesn't work that way. So you do know about the looping. So many times I met you, you denied it even being a possibility. Why did you lie to me? What is the princess? Did you make her too?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can. So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you. Seems that every me you met did a real shit job of it, though.
Maybe because you're a little bitch. If you made us, then I want you to know that this has been torture. If I destroy her, won't I be alone? Do you know that things won't just be worse if I destroy her? What would it be like to live in a world without her? Does anyone else know about this? Does anyone know about us? Why couldn't you have told me all this from the start? I would have helped you destroy her. If she's capable of becoming whatever people believe her to be, can't I just will her into something small? Jesus, so many questions and not enough shards. How am I supposed to destroy an abstract concept? What if neither of us leave this place? Does that work? Can't we just stay here together and leave the people out there alone? Why would you want to rid the world of death?
If you need to ask that question, there's nothing I can say to move you. You haven't died. You cannot die. So you cannot grasp the abject horror of dying.
Run out of questions. Nice. I think you're out of time. I'm not going to slay her, and I want you to know that before you die for good. Rest easy, I'm going to destroy her. Lie! Rest easy, I'm going to destroy her. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I still have to see what she thinks about all this. Say nothing and watch her win. I haven't decided yet.
I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo. And echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
As the final fragment of glass shatters, you see yourself with newfound clarity. The narrator was quiet. The narrator is right. You are the long quiet, a vast and nascent God, and it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. Proceed to the cabin one last time. When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There is nothing for you to find. Interesting.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
I've missed you too. Do you know about the echo? Did you hear our conversation? I'm the long quiet, but I don't know what that means. What happens now? I'm the long quiet.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the Shifting Mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
Do you know about the echo? Did you hear our conversation?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
There's so many stories we've left unfinished. Can we really just leave? Don't you have a say in all of this? Why is this all falling on me? Let's talk this through. I still have so many questions, and I need answers before I can make a choice. If I let you out, an entire world ends for good. I can't do that. If you were always going to become this, then what was the point of me doing anything? Did it even matter what roads I walked if all of them would have led to this moment? There has to be another way. This can't just come down to me either destroying you or letting you out. I won't do it. Slay the princess. I think it's time for us to leave this place. But I don't know how to leave or where to go. Oh, it's really always those two choices, isn't it? Killing her or letting her out. So many stories left unfinished.
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not. of beginning and end. Pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
Don't you have a say in all of this?
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts. If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict.
Let's talk this through. I have many questions.
My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach, and you cannot rationalize that which defies logic. But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
I just wanted a little bit more explanation.
My masses mob you. There is no beginning to them, nor is there an end. There is only the flood of bodies. And every moment you hold every possible sensation at once, and then you hold them all again. And in the end, you returned it to me. For a brief moment, you were everything. A chaos that needed ordering. But without chaos, there is no reason.
I couldn't understand you then, but I think I understand you now. You seemed in pain. I'm sorry for what I did to you, but it was the only thing I could do. I won't engage with violence. I couldn't understand you then, but I think I understand you now.
You saw with a single pair of eyes what you needed dozens to comprehend. And now here we are, each with millions of eyes, and all of them opening to what we are. Your lover drives a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss your heart because I can't stand to see it go? But the stakes meant nothing to you. You had a desire, and you set that desire free. You lifting me and me lifting you. Forever and ever and ever. Consumed by true belief, there was nothing that could hold us back.
I was blinded by emotion, we both know that. I want that feeling back. That feeling never left me. I won't engage with violence. I get it. There's no need for us to keep fighting. I'll leave with you. I just don't know how. Simplified comments or the inserter. Nah! I was blinded by emotion.
We were both taken by the moment. It was how things are meant to be.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
The sensation of bleeding and sweating and breaking and mending and dying and living comes back in vivid color. A past that is also present. A pain that is everything and yet nothing at all. You feel the shame of 100 deaths and the pride of 100 conquests. All of the peaks and valleys weaving themselves into a single tapestry, free of beginning and free of end. Do you remember when we killed each other with such fervent passion that death itself no longer sat on our shoulders?
It was beautiful. It was meaningless. Neither of us could ever truly live. It was unnecessary. We could have worked together to build something better. We didn't have to hurt each other.
It was. Triumph does not exist without defeat. Birth does not exist without death. It is through conflict that we create beauty.
Ooh!
A boundless torrent of blades cut you from boundless angles. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. And you feel all of it. On and on it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts, are not you. Alive, dead, alive, dead, then alive and dead, all at once. You learn to put yourself away and to follow the flow of reality. And you used it to rise above me.
You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives, and yet it is all so far behind you. Unjust impossibilities pushed you to become something you would never have been without them.
If you hadn't snatched that body away, we could have killed each other. We were self-destructive. It felt so good to finally win, even if it was going to cost me my life. Even if the journey was agony, the end gave the struggle meaning. The journey was agony.
And even then, what we saw was not an ending. When I thought I had reached an unconquerable peak, you showed me how much further I could still climb.
Whoop.
A shiver passes through you as unseen fingers, cold as the grave, dance across your skin. They remember the violence you inflicted on them, and yet they do not return it. I offer you a path to your redemption, and you take my hand in yours.
Interesting.
You felt the pain you caused another, and you were willing to sacrifice everything you thought was you to set me free. Without sin, there is no redemption.
But without redemption, there can be no sin. And I would sacrifice everything to free you again. Without redemption, there can be no sin.
And without contrast, there can be nothing at all.
As the clash between you abates, you begin to shake, your will rapidly dissolving.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
It's so easy to believe in the thing. It's easy to believe in the things you believe in when you get to sit above it all. What do you think happens if we leave here? Okay, I'm ready, but how do we leave? I never wanted to fight you. But how do we? I can't let that happen. I can't let everything die. I have to fight for a better world. I'm so sorry. You're cruelty itself, and I cannot let you exist. I don't know what the answer is, but there has to be something else. It can't be this. I won't kill you, but I won't let you free. You've done everything you can to understand me and your perspective, but you keep dismissing mine. If you think you can change me, then I must be able to change you.
What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
Which hero are you?
All of them? I assume in the same way that you're all of you.
Nice! You have no idea how good it is to hear you.
It's good to be here. She's too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all of that divine confidence. There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Then let's go.
Aha! It's, oh my god, okay.
And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things?
Nah, I got it. I like that for old time's sake. Is it just you and me? Did anyone else make it to the cabin? Is the narrator really gone? Take the blade. Is it just me?
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
Oh. Take the blade.
That's probably for the best. It's always seemed to give us more options than not.
The offer still stands, but could you describe the cabin to me for old time's sake? Yeah, sure, why not?
Of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's a cabin, yeah? There isn't much here, just a table and a knife and a door. And some windows. You know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really mentioned the windows, did he?
No, he didn't.
There's no mirror, either. I think you broke it.
Shattered it.
And I know you're still trying to find some middle ground, but if things go south, we're going to need that blade.
Yeah. Into the basement.
The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or are you going to keep trying to find a center that doesn't exist?
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us.
Probably because I stabbed her. Continue down the
And
stairs.
down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are, knife in hand. It really brings me back. Have you given up on talking? Have you finally decided to kill me? You'll have all of eternity to yourself after this. Why don't we chat a little before I go?
Sit with her. I don't want to be a god. Are you the same as you are out there? I don't want to hurt anyone. There has to be a way out of this. What are we going to do? I don't want to have to slay you, but I don't know what other options there are. I'm sorry, slay the princess, or just slay the princess. I don't want to have to slay you.
Well, I don't want to be at the end of that knife, so how about we figure something out? What if we tried doing this forever? I can do whatever you think I can, right? So, make me put it all back. Make me fix the Echo's construct and make me wipe our memories of everything that's happened. Make me send us back to the beginning, before we woke up. Before either of us saw the truth.
Can she really do that? Are you sure that's what you want?
I don't think that's how you're supposed to end it, though. Would resetting it do anything to help them, the people out there? If you continue to exist, don't they continue to die and suffer? I don't want to forget you. We're going to find ourselves back here eventually. If we're talking about this right now, how do we know we haven't done this before? This isn't fair. I want to be here with you. I don't want to be alone again. Is there any other way? I take it all back. I don't want this, and I don't want to kill you. Is it too late to go back to being a god? Okay, then let's do it. I believe in us. Agree to our plan. I'm sorry, but I can't do that, said Princess. Would resetting it do anything to help them?
Fixing that is on you, not me. If you want me to help them, you'll have to make me help them.
I don't understand why the concept of everyone dying is... I don't want to forget you.
That's sweet. But unless you do, the whole world ends, right? Not like I care. But it seems important to you.
We're going to find ourselves back here eventually.
And if we do, nothing is stopping us from making the same choice. We could just keep doing this forever.
Are you talking about this right now? How do we know we haven't done it before?
Well, I don't think that's something we'll ever get to know. But odds are we've probably done it before.
How do you know that things won't end worse? What if when I make my way back here, I'm different and I hurt you? What if I kill you? What if I let you bring about the end of everything?
Who cares? We've hurt each other plenty, and I still like you. And if you're hesitating, then you must still like me, too.
We'd have to decide to do this every single time, forever. Eventually, something is going to be different. What if we change our minds?
Well, if we change our minds, we change our minds. What matters is that we'll always have a choice. This is just the one we're making now.
Okay, let's do it then.
Okay, if this is your choice, then I have your back. I guess I'll see you on the other side. She takes the blade from our hand, a fondness in her gaze.
It's a much better narrator. I love you.
Oh.
Ah!
I love you too.
What? Yay! Chapter 1, The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path
Fuck!
in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Does that mean I have to do everything again?
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Shit, I should have saved it before I made the choice. Damn it. Turn around and leave again, I guess. Okay. The voices in your head. Oh, there's Gab. Finish the game. The good ending doesn't count. Nice. Oh, they have another game. Okay. Turn the menu. Alright, I want to...
You're on a path. You're here.
Shut the fuck up. Sadly continues to come. Oh, okay, so it doesn't matter what choice you make. It just ends. That's good to know. So many achievements. They say the good ending doesn't count, but I don't even know what the good ending would be. I wonder if that's a different one. Oh, they did Scarlet Hollow, I guess, then. I did want to play that one, then. Alrighty. Well, I guess that's... I forgot... There we go. Well, I guess that's the end of that. I think... the only other thing I would do would be achievement hunting. To get all the achievements, because there's a lot to get. But I might leave that for a different stream, just because I'd want to make a note and try to, like, find all the, like, how to get each of them, like, the quickest and easiest way to do that. But thanks for watching and have a good day.